Okay, so second half of September saw some new additions for the FM. It also saw the very first iteration that we had with Defensive Arts, which gave us the charged armors. We had the new Daily Scourge campaign, which awards the 300 uranium, which I love because I can just go out and hit that and get a bunch of crews. Also saw some additional specialists. We have the Phoenix, Skyfire, and the Apollo repair specialists. And then we did have a change to the VXP targets that kind of came in and late announced, and that was the change on the focus from where originally it was damage dealt and damage received to where it was now damage dealt only as kind of the primary focus. And then, of course, we had OP10. So, Ren, you are the OP10 master. You want to talk about that?
I heard Ren called many things, but...
His videos, for the folks that haven't seen his videos, they're on the TFC page under the OP10. It is well worth the time to watch that.
No, I just talk a little bit about what to upgrade, how to upgrade things, and I posted a few base layouts. I think 2 or 3 of them, just to get people started. Right? It's not like I'm going to be doing that all the time, but it helps. I think. Like just now, I still see people upgrading their turrets non-stop and haven't done the Conqueror Yard. And I think folks without the Conqueror Yard right now are suffering unless they don't give a rat's ass about their base defense and Conquerors and that kind of stuff. But it's night and day after you have the 2 shipyards going.
I mean, from as far as overall the release of Outpost 10, looking at it holistically, I think the team was very happy with how smooth it was rolling out. I remember we had a lot of bumpy releases leading up to that, and so we were very happy that we finally hit one that was super smooth compared to all the other ones. And I was happy to give we were able to give the 30 additional land tiles. I think that was a big move because I know a lot of people were like, hey, I don't have enough land to do the things I want to do. And so we were able to kind of look at expanding that to really help people get more creative with their base design. And we've seen some cool kind of variations of the switchback and even the spiral to a certain degree in terms of the base layout. So we're thrilled to sort of see some diversity there.
Yeah.
And so, overall, I think I was pretty happy with how well it rolled out anyways. And the fact that there's even a conquest yard at all is probably was something that was deeply discussed within the team for obvious reasons. But I'm thrilled that it at least exists in the game. I understand the difficulty of acquisition, of actually being able to get it and build it because you have other priorities. But at the same time, I'm thrilled that it's actually in the game so that eventually, people can have it and enjoy it. So that's sort of my take on it from my perspective.
Yeah, and I think you nailed the 30 actual land tiles. It changed completely the base design game. It wasn't just a small incremental thing. It was really big, right? Like now, for the first time, I don't have a spiral base. I have a switchback base, and it kind of works.
Yeah, and I think in combination with the portals too, right? Like just the crazy designs that you can come up with, and like the chamber kind of approach of sort of trapping people in certain pockets is also very interesting. Plus the Omega turret slot, just the opportunities that we can do with that and evolve that particular element of base defense is going to be really exciting for us and hopefully exciting for you guys as we continue to develop content for it.
You mentioned
the Omega slot. Don't you mean the BFG?
Yes, the BFG. Sure.
Do you guys have plans for more BFGs coming out?
We do. Yeah. I think you'll see one by the end of this year. I think.
Ooh.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah, that gives us like 10 days. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the first part of September. Liam, if you want to pop down the next page for us.
Yeah, no.
And so on the second half of September saw the very first iteration of the Tech Up TLC. which gave us a bunch of new updated specials. And then we brought out the first iteration of Hunger Games, where you were able to go ahead and win the Hunter Blueprint and the specials, as well as Hidden Depths, which gave you the Phantom Fangtooth. And then the September event was Steel Curtain, which saw brand new turrets, and some of them really, really good turrets.
I absolutely love my Hunters. I'm just going to say it right now. This and the Skyfire are probably my two favorite hulls of the year.
Oh, George.
I love the things.
Yeah, the Hunters were really cool. I mean, it allowed me to just keep hitting targets on autopilot as it should be while I was driving the Fangs around. So that was a good combo.
Well, as a sub driver, you know, I mean, I have to lean towards the Fangs for the way
Although I will never be as good as Liam when it comes to driving subs. I do like mine.
We even gave him a handicap where he doesn't have to worry about the timer now, you know, so he could just really show off all the crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you gave him that, and you gave the sub extra range, right? So it was just pretty much tailor-made for Liam.
No, mine have less range. The rest of the community have the larger range. They can try and drive theirs like mine.
Oh, I see. Liam's trying to use the dread effect in a completely innovative way that nobody else thought about. I understand.
I'm still waiting for the Liam 99's, you know, Fang flagship. You know, I mean, what's going on with that?
Is it going to have like dog ears on it? Flames?
With what, 99 hours of repair? That's what you said?
It's going to have a really, really cool comb over with 99 hours of repair, yeah.
It's going to have like
seems reasonable.
It's going to have a turn speed of 2, and like it's going to be a surface operation sub. That's how it's going to fit.
Makes sense.
I will coin that. That's what I'm saying, all right? I will coin that. So.
Okay. So moving on from September, I apologize, we're kind of running a little bit over here, but jumping into October, saw the assault targets change on the map. No more Mega Hull 99s. We jumped into the Nav Relays. It also saw the release of the Draconian Seawall, new one. We also had the jet engine through the Mega Titans Unleashed campaign. And this month we kind of had two bounties. The first one was around the 4th, which gave us the Twin Blade and all the toys that go with us, as well as the Adder Turret. And then Bounty 3.0 started towards the end of the month and then kind of flew over and crossed over into November. We also, and that one of course gave us the infamous King's Writ, as well as the special and guns to go with that. We saw new repair specialists for a lot of our chore fleets, things like the Monolith, the Icebreaker, Punishers, Vanquishers, so on and so forth. It saw the release of the Conquest Yard that we just talked about. And then October's event was Caress of Steel, which brought out the Apex Hunter, as well as the new Zealous, and again, the Phantom Fangtooth.
See, I liked this month a lot, especially because I got the Kings, and that was fantastic. And the Conquest Yard was a game changer. If you get, like, I invested in that rather than my turrets, and it's paid off handily. The only thing I didn't like, and Raikan, this is going to be kind of directed to you. I don't know if you can answer it, but with regard to the map targets, because titanium has become such a huge thing in the game now, the changeover was a little bit hard on a lot of people, and the fact that we can't actually auto any of these targets at all, is this being looked at all? The availability of titanium?
Well, so we have expeditions coming where you'll be able to earn titanium through that. So we're going to start there. I don't have any knowledge of explicit plans about the world map targets, but I know there's been a focus on being able to provide, you know, uranium, base parts, titanium, etc., through expeditions. So that's something to look forward to, and hopefully we can help you guys out in that area. So.
On that topic, I don't want to derail the conversation, but any plans of bringing big-ass targets like the 106 from the assault cycle, paying a whole bunch of titanium so we don't need to grind a bunch?
So, again, I don't have a whole lot of information regarding specific targets, but I can say that expeditions are meant to help, and that's about as much as I can give you guys, because I don't want to promise something that we may not deliver on. So that's
now a question that people in the chat asked multiple times. Like, we have a crew for double uranium, we have a crew for double double base parts, or double. Do we have a crew for double titanium, double base parts?
We had the base parts one, but it's not available in anything like ever since like January, I think, or February.
We've spoken about road crews a lot. We haven't planned any direct action, which would include the addition of something like double titanium. That said, if people are really interested in having a road crew that gives more titanium, I think that would be useful information for the team. So post about it, forums on your guys' page, whatever.
I think it's a given at this point, man.
Well, look, anything that helps give visibility to the team about things that you guys are interested in is going to help.
Hey, Raikan, I even gave a name to the cruise, the double tit.
Oh, I see.
We've been talking about that for 6 months. Who doesn't like double tit?
Oh.
Okay, moving on.
Family show. Hold on.
Moving on to November, lots of things here, and of course November is the month to remember. First off, we had a bunch of stuff that was released in the FM. This is of course the month where we had the first iteration of the FM target changes with the 115, which did not go over so well. There was of course a second iteration that came out after that. We saw the second iteration of Tech Up 2 as well as Tech Up 3. A little bit of a speed bump with Tech Up 3. With Tech Up 2, originally you did the first 5 levels, got the prizes, and then you got the 1 air token if you wanted to continue. With Tech Up 3, that drastically changed, and with no notice, it changed from where you were supposed to just get the prizes first to a random choice of getting either the prize or the tokens. And then we saw the new locator updates. This was a really good thing. Unfortunately, I think it was kind of overshadowed with the FM changes, but the ability now to search for base parts targets as well as nav relays. So that was a huge addition to, cutting down on time for scrolling the map and finding targets.
That was
going to be, November's easy. FM change sucked. FM additions were great. Tech Up 2 was great. Tech Up 3 sucked. Locator, awesome. There you go.
I think that you should take Rue's quote to the Kixeye office. Did not go over so well, is the quote for the FM changes. I think that was a good way to put it, Rue.
Yep. Okay, so on the second half of November, we saw some other things. We saw the changes to the mega ships. They decreased the mega gantry build time, so I think that dropped down to 7. There was reductions in the costs of metal alloy and advanced systems for building modules. The defenses and the damage was increased, and I have to say, when you have a mega with level 4 everything, it's like instant death to anything on the map. They also did some monolith changes to assist with the FM. They removed the slow down speed up mechanic for the monoliths, which kind of brought it in line with the Zealous, which was a really good positive change, and no longer having to run around trying to control 2 different fleets. And then we had the November event, which was Trial by Fire, which gave us the Phantom Gluttony, as well as the Sinful Scatter and the Special. And then we also had some holiday rewards. GDR, you want to talk through some of those mega changes?
Sure, yeah. So I know we sort of were looking at how hard it was or wasn't to build a mega as sort of the first thing, because we knew there was a lot of feedback around that. We had a lot of data points about that. And so we, as a team, we sort of investigated all that, and we were able to look at it and be like, wow, that's crazy. And we went back and we're like, what's more reasonable for our players to be able to actually acquire mega, especially since we were going to integrate it into bounty and that sort of stuff, and how can we help people who are now interested or want to be interested be able to more easily get into it. And I think one of the key changes to that was, the first 2 levels not requiring the advanced systems or metal alloy, because you weren't out of the box at a net negative deficit for being able to accrue, because someone would hit you and then you could never progress, and it was very difficult. So I'm glad we were able to do that, and I think standardizing kind of the cost for the different upgrades too, with the 1 and 1 and 3 and 3, as you get into levels 3 and 4, also felt pretty appropriate. And so I'm thrilled with that particular change. And then I think having, you know, a much needed maintenance buff to the megas was also a huge kind of improvement, as Rue sort of pointed out. So as far as megas go, I thought that was a very healthy change, along with the gantry build time reduction. So yeah, as far as megas go, that was good.
And
Yeah.
I know you were somewhat involved in that. And you guys run analytics and all. Did you see like some sort of increase in people actually using, developing, building their mega homes?
We definitely saw a lift in people building and engaging with their megas more, definitely, because people were more easily able to improve, right? Naturally, if you feel like you can improve and be competitive, you know, people are more likely to kind of invest into it. So yeah, we definitely see a lift. We're still tracking it because it's still pseudo early, given that's only been about a month or so. But so far, early signs look positive for engagement with megas. So that's great.
Cool.
And I think there's also, you know, with the implementation of the Keeper of the Nexus through the bounty event, of course, obviously affects that. And I think if Kix can look at, I know I sent you a bunch of stuff based on the show where we did the review, as well as input from the page and everything. If there's some way that players who have megas, who are either not in an alliance or not necessarily in a big alliance, if there's some way to incorporate their megas into the bounty too, I think you'll see a bigger increase as well. You know, if I can take my bounty out, swag another bounty and get swag another mega and get a little bit of bounty, then, you know, that incents me to get my mega better for the next one.
GDR, I have something actually. See, in 2016, me and you, we did a one-on-one show regarding mega ships. It was not long after the release of mega ships, and we were discussing them and their use and stuff. And on the show, you actually had something you shared with us, which was a Reaver mega ship. Do you remember? It was like a skin or like an early design. Whatever come of that? Just curious, you know, this just randomly pops into my head. But did it just get vetoed, or are we still sort of early stages with it? Or?
So for that particular thing, I think what it was we released megas, and we were very aggressive and ambitious in our plans for megas, specifically. I think we had to slow down just so that we could better understand megas and the ecosystem, because we weren't fully happy with things that we were seeing. And we wanted to look at, well, what do we need to improve, right? So our goal was like, let's get megas into a really good spot, right? And then from there, maybe we have the opportunity to grow from that point forward. Maybe we don't need to. And so we were very excited about maybe having a different kind of mega ship, and you can do that. And that's not out of the question. We still talk about it. But I think our number one priority for megas is let's get in a good, healthy spot, make sure people enjoy it, and then kind of build from there. So it's sort of more step by step instead of like trying to rush everything out. So that's sort of what happened to that.
Good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's a good answer. I'd rather. Yeah, that's a better way of doing it. So, Rose, is there anything more on November?
Yeah, actually, one more thing, and this was, I apologize, this is the draft version of the slides, so we're having to improvise here. The other piece that, of course, came in the second half of November after the trial by fire raid was the changes to the FM. Kixeye, you know, there was a loud and large response back on the original FM fleet changes that were in the FM targets. And so, of course, they brought out the second set of targets, which was a lot more manageable and kind of stayed within the confines of what we were expecting. They also brought out the temporary 111 target, the 111 that's out there, that I'm not sure when that's going to be removed. The other thing that happened was they increased the token timer from 3 days back up to the original full 6 days. So not sure if that change is going to go into effect this week or next week. I'm hopeful that if they are going to change it, the Kix gives us some notice. So just kind of keeping that in mind for what's coming up. And then that, of course, brings us to December. So this month had a couple of things going on this month. First off, we don't have the FM editions. I'm sure those will come out tomorrow or next week. The update, of course, is tomorrow morning. Was not one today because of the raid. We had channel defenses, the sand trap. This was the first trap, not wall, that was released. So some new information that came out on that. This one, of course, causes the subs to rise, as well as some other faction-based defenses and attack bonuses. We had Bounty 4.0, and we talked about this. This, of course, was the first iteration where we had the Keeper of the Golden Nexus event. So that was the first time that that came through. And then, and I apologize for the label here, but the Fall of the Wall was the raid that we just completed this morning. And so, of course, we have the new Buccaneer hull looking towards the next raid cycle. And then we had the Omni hull, as well as all of the other tech that was mentioned. And then Kix put out some reductions in both armor and build times for a lot of the older tech that was out there. Particularly liked the reduction in the armor build times for the folks that are unable themselves to get the charged armor. So that really helps out. And so I'm going to punt this, George and Ren. You guys want to, Brian, touch on the Buccaneer?
we're still
my hype level is spiking. It's a good hole. It looks to be the auto hole based on statistics that we've seen. It's got interesting statistics in that it has ballistic and radioactive bonuses. So we'll see. Maybe the skill hole, quote unquote, has a different weapon type. Maybe the escalation weapon. We'll see. I've talked enough about the special. I have concerns. There are counter concerns, and I have counter concerns wherever that puts us in the chain. But it's what we have so far, so we're probably going to build it, and I hope it does as well as the previous auto holes, as those have been fantastic. But that's a high bar.
Yeah, I mean, my concern mainly revolves around the special. Because if you look at the DPS, straight up DPS, it's like a third. Yeah, no, I mean it's like a third of what it is using just even autoloader 2, right? But then, as I mentioned in the article, noticing in the hunter targets this month, the time to kill, right, the cumulative damage or time to kill, whichever one you want to call it, became very, very important. Like it was the top stat for determining how much damage you're going to take overall in the target. And I kind of equated that to this special. The problem is I just still don't know if it does enough total one-shot damage to make it better than, say, Siege Batter and Siege Targeting combo on a hull. I don't know if Brian, did you run those numbers or?
Not really. First, a point of clarification. Every time I've seen the phrase "time to kill," it's just meant literally what it says. How long does it take for my damage to reach your health total and kill you?
Right.
So I'm not sure about the usage of that term, but what I'm looking forward to is I'm going to see if I can make a system, because I believe the crux of your argument is the potential that these targets would have deflection.
Deflection,
like
ballistic deflection, reduction, or something that would mitigate the primary damage of the engagement itself.
But how would splash damage reduction on a direct hit wouldn't matter? You're still taking the same damage either way. It would have to go into effect further out, and I know I already did the math on that. The thing is, to be fair, I don't want to believe that the target would have ballistic deflection, because at that point, what we're talking about is you need to crit, because holding everything else constant and switching an autoloader or reload special for the new special, means that every weapon that isn't a crit is equal. And then you're relying on something that happens 22% of the time at minimum and about 37% at most with the Deadeye Destroyer for any effect, any noticeable effect on the target. And I don't like that. I think that's just not good design to rely on a chance to be able to do anything significant. But the possibility does exist. I'll say that. I just don't know what to do with it or how to plan for it just yet.
And that's one of the issues, is because if it is in the target, I don't know. I mean, it's just the whole thing's wonky for me. I'm having because it's either that special is a complete utter screw up, or there's something in the target that's going to mitigate the most or the majority of your primary base damage on your weapon. And I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming, Raikan, we can't ask you, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure Kixeye is not going to want us. Do you have any insight at all? I mean, I'll take anything at this point. Frick, I'll take care.
You cut out a bit there, George, but I think we caught the gist of it.
I don't personally have information on how the targets are being built or not built, so I can't really comment on specifically what's being done or what's not being done. So unfortunately, I can't answer your question. I'm sorry.
Crap.
That's
No,
fair.
it's okay.
I mean, we the players haven't seen any targets either. We got to wait for
2 days.
Can we get? Is it VXP weekend? Is that going to be Siege? Can we?
Yeah, I think
that
I think so.
Okay.
I think it is.
It'll be out tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yep. Hopefully we'll have some kind of an idea with a new VXP target to test on. Well, that kind of concludes the slide pack that we have tonight. Thanks to everybody, but sorry about the technical difficulties. Apparently, TSM's kids have been watching too many movies, and he's lost his internet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over to GDR to kind of go over a couple of things that he thought that we might be interested in. So GDR, it's all yours.
Sure. So like I said before, we're trying to be very meticulous about planning for 2018, which again is why you're seeing a reduction in us expressing exactly what's going on and not going on. We're just trying to make sure we're really locked in and that we know exactly what we're doing and that we can communicate that to you because we really want to improve and make 2018 really awesome, right? And that's sort of the goal. Unfortunately, I can't share a bunch of information as a result about 2018. Okay, but what I've been able to come up with for something for you guys that the team was willing to share is that we currently planning to do a co-op target that will drop at the end of this month as a test pilot for future co-op targets going into 2018, because one of the things that we feel we really didn't get a good opportunity to do this year is to provide you guys some really great real-time co-op experience with each other. And so the target that's going to drop is sort of a sneak peek, and it's meant to be a really tough target. I mean, like, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for low people trying to work the way out. It's literally a really awesomely tough, fun target. Robot and I have been playing it. It's pretty fun. And there's some amount of rewards to go with that. I don't know the details of the rewards, but that's my understanding of how that works. But the target itself is really, really fun. Now, pending that goes well, right? Disclaimer, subject to change, blah, all that stuff, right? But pending everything goes well, I think what we're hoping to do, our ambitious plan, is to create 5 new co-op targets, maybe the target that we drop being one of those, but basically creating 4 2-man cell co-op targets and then 1 co-op target that's a 4-man cell, which I don't think we've really done in a long time, maybe since the Vanguard, and really have some cool experience interactions there. That would hopefully come in within the first cycle or so is sort of the hope. But again, subject to change. But that's our tentative plan because we really think co-op's an awesome and exciting experience, and we want to provide that to you guys. And so we're hoping that everything goes well for us to execute on that.
Raikan, question from the YouTube chat. So when you do a co-op target, when I think most people are really excited about co-op coming back and having a fun way of doing it, is there going to be any sort of co-op target for the mid-level guys who don't have the top fleets? Or is it going to be an elite kind of target only?
So the targets that I'm describing right now are elite top-end targets. Now, that isn't to say if everything went well that we wouldn't be interested in potentially doing those, right? I don't know, right? Because that's sort of still part of the discussion and part of if this experiment even works, right? And people actually do engage with it and are having fun, right? We don't want to provide something that we can't continue to deliver on. So for these particular targets, it is top-end targets. Bring your best stuff. That I can definitely say that. So, but unfortunately, as of today, no current plans for mid-level or low-level co-op targets. That might change in the future. We'll let you know if it does, but as of right now, no.
Okay, clarification point here, because co-op has been used everywhere from Base Invaders to the Drac bases when they first came, the new ones when they first came out. When you guys are saying co-op, is it a required more than one player, or is it because we had one target during one of the raids that was actually a real co-op target? Like you had 2 people, 3 people going and hitting this target, and it was great. But like back in Base Invaders, it was supposed to be a co-op target, but one person could go in and do it themselves. And I mean, we used to sync other people that would come and hit our target.
My understanding is that it is a what you're referring to as a true co-op target. Like you're gonna need a couple people to do this target.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
And I think the main block for people not wanting to co-op is that there was always a prize that only one player in the group would get. Are you guys shying away from that so you don't create an incentive for the non-co-op style of play?
I will not promise anything specifically, again, for the reasons I've outlined, but I think we are investigating the opportunity to provide rewards for all participants. Whether or not that actually happens, I don't know. But we're investigating it currently. We're seeing if we can do that. If we can, we're interested. But right now, it's strictly hypothetical, strictly investigation. So that's the most I can give on that.
And I don't know if you mentioned that and I lost and I missed it, but is the planned release time frame for that big target first quarter, for second quarter? Well, when are you planning to release it?
We said test for end of the month.
Yeah, so we're gonna drop a test target in the end of this month is the current plan. And then if that goes well, then we would be interested in putting those out in the first quarter / cycle, first 3 to 4 months probably. I don't know exactly when. That's the rough time frame we're thinking. Again, tentative, you know, but you know, and I don't know what form that would come in, if that starts off in a TLC or on the world map or whatever. But the point is that we're interested in trying to provide more co-op experiences for you guys and having fun, engaging, sort of time with your friends and your alliance mates, right? So I think that's where we're at.
I think the fact the rewards thing is the one that kind of hangs me up, and people are talking about it in chat as well. I really enjoyed the Reaver Assault platforms, enjoyed the Vanguards, but I can't tell you, there was nothing more frustrating than hitting 30 of them with a group of players, and then 90% of the people get nada, and along time comes a new guy who joined for just this once, and he gets the ghost crawler drop. So.
Sure, yeah, and we 100% understand that, and that's why we're actively investigating our opportunity to try to find a way to give everybody something. That's, or at least more people. At least more than one would be ideal.
Have you guys decided on a limit of how many players can actually engage the targets at once, or is it like
so our current plan again is we're looking to do so the one that's going to drop will be a 2-man cell, so 2 players. Future ones we're talking about 5 total in the in the next quarter maybe, but we're looking at like 4 2-man cells and 1 4-man cell. So you would have 4 people.
So then the next question that I have is this, because we keep on seeing the PvE repair times climb, and part of that is because we're at half repaired during the raid. Do you guys take that into account when you guys bring stuff to the map? Because originally the stuff that was coming to the map was supposed to be tuned down for the map because we weren't in half repair, and we haven't seen that.
I can't speak to the tuning of the target in detail or what is being done or not done. The time that I did it with Robot, it was a tough target. It is intended to be a tough target, so expect it to be tough. Right? It is completely beatable. We did it. It requires some coordination, but it is a tough target. So in all sense of the word, whatever that means to you, it's probably that. Okay.
And you know what? kind of like that because when the original Draconian bases came out, they were really tough. And I remember me and my friends losing many fleets until we learned how to beat them. And we had fun doing that. I mean, of course, there wasn't the pressure on the side for TLCs and events all the time. So we actually we had time to repair the fleets. Not like, oh, now I can't do the TLC. That's my only concern. Yeah,
well here the one thing that I actually kind of a red flag threw up for me was the coordination thing that he just stated, because because we know that there's been like memory lag or a memory leakage and then the lag in the game, and trying to coordinate two players that aren't in the same room over a big target to do this. I mean, are you guys looking at this lag and memory leak as well while you're doing this, or?
So, like I said earlier, we are aware of it. We are looking into it. We don't promise any outcome of that. We understand it. The coordination part is important. It's more like the best way I can describe how to coordinate with someone in this target is rhythm. Just like you guys are sort of in rhythm with each other, because there's sort of a pattern to it, is sort of what Robot and I figured out. So as long as you guys are sort of in the same rhythm, you can get through it. And again, we're playing on machines that aren't wonderful either, and we had lag as well, and we still got through it. So again, tough target, really cool target, really fun, like a lot of fun, probably the most fun I've had on a target in a long time.
Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. I just hope that the prizes are equitable then.
Yeah, I'm already getting PMs from people going, "Ooh, co-op! I like it." So
that's good. Yeah, again, I can't really speak to the exact prizes. I don't know. It's probably like if I took a guess, and this is strictly a guess, don't hold me to this. It's probably like treasure chest with some stuff in it. I don't know what stuff. Maybe tokens.
That and some high-level resources, and I mean, if I could hit a co-op target and come out with some titanium, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something for saying, hey, thank you for participating. We hope you had fun. And that's sort of.
Here's some tips for you. I like that.
Yeah,
here's some tips for you. Now it's
so we're hoping it goes well. We really do want it to go well, so we can continue to provide you guys more awesome co-op targets, because Robot has some really sick ideas about how to do this, and I'm like super excited, especially the 4-man one. I'm really hoping we get the opportunity to make that, but that's where we're at the moment. So again, all tentative plans, but we are planning to drop this co-op target at the end of this month for you guys to check out. So
cool.
Well, good. Yeah, sounds really interesting. Looking forward to that. Was there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
Well, I mean, I think we're excited to go back to a 4-month cycle. I hope it's tough on us as much as you guys, so we're definitely looking forward to planning that out, and that's been part of our planning is going back to 4 months. So that's a good sign. And then we're really hoping that Expeditions help you guys out in the chore department. It's a pretty slick system, really interesting. Like some interesting targets from that too, that I think you guys are going to find to be sort of fun also. And it introduces a new kind of like expedition score system, and if that goes well, maybe we can use that in other aspects of the game. Test pilot for that thing, but it's really helpful. So that should be coming out soon, really soon. So I hope it's helpful. So I think we're excited about Expedition. We're excited about 4 months. We're excited about doing co-op, and we're trying our damnedest to get a better plan for 2018 than we had in 2017, and really being able to execute on that. And that's really all I can say at the moment. But those are the things we're working towards. So again, sorry for the lack of communication. It's because we're so hunkered down and trying to make it as best as we possibly can and really learn from 2017 moving forward. So that's sort of where we're at.
Raikan wants to make it pretty.
All the things pretty all the time.
I think we can all agree that it has been quite rocky 2017, but there's been some positives, there's been some negatives, and there's a lot to reflect on. And I think 2018 is already sounding quite exciting as far as PvP is concerned, and hopefully we'll have a slightly fresher year next year than we did this year. yeah, I mean, it's been a journey, and you know, our slides tonight, we've pointed out that there has been some great positives. I think towards the last half of the year, you know, the community kind of did take a kind of negative spin, but it's not been all bad. It's not been all bad, has it? To be fair.
No, it was, you know, I said when I was putting these together last night, I was like, oh, and as Mark said, I was like, oh, I forgot that was this year, and oh, that was this year as well. You know, so there has been some positive stuff that have helped out. Okay, well, GDR, I can't thank you enough for hanging with us. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but thank you so very much for staying with us for the full time, and appreciate your insight and the information that you've shared with us.
Yeah, well, hey, it was fun for me. I enjoyed talking to you guys whenever I have the opportunity. You know, I'm usually very busy, so I don't get to do this as often as I would like. But thank you for having me. It's been a blast. So.
Yeah, it's been great to have you, GDR. And you know, GDR, you've been with TFC since day one, really. You know, you are a good advocate of the show, and you were with us for last year's end of the show review, and you were with us this year, so that's absolutely great. And I hope you're with us for the end of the year show next year. You know. TFC, you know, we've had a great season 1, we've had a great season 2, and you know, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the community support and you guys getting involved in the show and in the page. And you know, it's all the admins here on the show, and even the admins that aren't on the show, we take a great passion in TFC, and we really enjoy doing what we do. So, you know, as it is the end show of the year, you know, it's the last show of season 2. We are going to have a Christmas special on the 26th. Which I won't be on myself, but some of the admins will be. But we'll be starting 2018 with TFC Season 3. You know, we'll see some changes. We'll see some alterations maybe as to how we do things. But, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think we'll continue to do the best we can to
Hey, Liam. So
yes.
Are we like Doctor Who now? We have a Christmas special?
We are.
Yep.
yeah, we're going to have a Doctor Who Christmas special.
And I can
Mr. Goo. Mr. Magoo.
I can promise you that it's not going to be.
No, but I think
it is not going to be your normal TFC show. I can tell you that much.
Well, in which case I may come on. There's drink involved.
It will probably be a slightly more relaxed yet still reasonably professional TFC show.
Well, listen, guys. You know, anyway, I don't know if I probably rambled on too much, but I just wanted to take a personal, you know, take a moment there to personally thank everyone who supports the show. You know, I want to thank, you know, GDR. I want to thank all the admins that work on the show. I mean, these guys put their time in, day out. You know, on the page, on the shows, on the videos, on the builds, and they do it all for free in their own time. I mean, you know, it's absolutely mental, the commitment that the admins provide. But, you know, without the community support, it wouldn't be there either. So everyone plays a part, and really, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I thank everyone who plays a part in TFC. You guys are what make it great. So let's look forward to season 3, and let's look forward to next year. And, you know, who knows, I may change my hair next year, so we may have something new to celebrate. But guys, is there anything else you want to throw in there?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yep. No,
Enjoy
happy holidays.
the holidays.
Yep. Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope you're all on the nice list. You know, I hope Santa brings you what you want, and we will see you. Possibly, I may see you myself on the special on the 26th. On the 26th, we're going to announce the winner of the banner competition that's been going out. There's some great prizes.
Yep.
I think it's fair to say people will be surprised when they see the prizes, won't they?
Yes, very generous.
Some good prizes involved. So yeah, that'll be interesting, and we'll announce that on the 26th. Correct, Ru?
Yeah, the first step is we'll go ahead and choose the top 3 and then put them out for vote.
Put them out for vote. You guys can pick, and yeah, the winner will get the prize. So, well, there's prizes. There's a few prizes, but the winner will get the top prize. But other than that, guys, thank you very much, and have a wonderful Christmas. And we will see you for the Christmas special. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, good night, everyone.